Hi everyone, this is Fatima. Today we are going to see the topic brain computer interfaces. Introduction to brain computer interface. Brain signals is computer commands and direct communication between brain and devices and emerging technology. Here we are going to discuss brain computer interfaces, commonly known as BCI. BCI is a technology that creates a direct communication pathway between the brain and an external device. Instead of using our hands, keyboards, or voice, brain signals can be interpreted and converted into commands. This technology could change the how humans interact with computers and machines. For an example, a person could potentially control a computer cursor using brain signals instead of moving a mouse. Let's see how does a BCI works. Brain produces electrical signals, sensors capture signals, and a computer interprets the signals, and device performs an action. Our brain contains billions of neurons that communicate using electrical and chemical signals. A BCI uses sensors to detect certain brain activities, the system, the process these signals using software and machine learning techniques and translate them into commands that a computer or device can understand. For an example, a specific brain signal could be interested as a command to move a cursor to the left or right. Let's see the types of brain computer interfaces: invasive, non invasive, and partially invasive systems. BCIs can be broadly divided into different types. Invasive systems involve sensors placed inside the brain and can provide detailed signals, but they require surgery. Non-invasive systems uses devices such as EEG headsets placed outside the head. There are also approaches that fall between these two categories. An example, an EEG headset can detect brain activity without requiring brain surgery. What is BCI in healthcare? Here it comes: assist people with disabilities, communication support, and neuroprosthetics. One of the most promising applications of BCI is healthcare. It may help people with paralysis or certain neurological conditions communicate and interact with technology. Like brain signals can potentially be used to control robotics lines and computer cursors or communication systems. For an example, a person who cannot move their hands could potentially use a BCI system to select letters on a computer screen. Let's see BCI and human. Computer interaction between the both. First one is control device using brain signals, hand-free interaction, and new user experiences. BCI could also change the way we interact with the technology instead of always using keyboards, touch screens, or voice commands. Future system may allow certain actions to be controlled through brain activities. Let's see an example. Imagine selecting an option on a computer screen simply by focusing on it without physically touching the devices. What is future applications? Gaming and entertainment, robotics, smart devices, and accessibility. In the future, BCI could be used in gaming, robotics, smart devices, and accessibility technologies. Games could respond to a player's brain actively, while robots could potentially be controlled through neural signals. For an example, a player might control certain game actions using brain signals instead of traditional controller. What are the challenges and ethical concerns here? So, privacy of brain data, safety, accuracy, and ethical questions. So, despite its potential, BCI technology faces important challenges. So, brain data is extremely sensitive, so protecting mental privacy is essential. System also needs to become more accurate and reliable. There are ethical questions about who owns brain data and how it can be used. So, they say an example like if brain activity data is collected by a device, like users should clearly understand what information is being collected and how it will be used. So, let's see what will be the future of BCI. So, it includes the most important points that are connecting humans and machines, major healthcare and potential, and responsible development. So, brain computer interfaces could create a new way for humans to communicate with computers and machines. So, from helping people with disabilities to enabling new forms of human computers intentions, the possibility are exciting. So, however, safety, privacy, and ethical responsibility must remain at the center of BCI development. The future may not simply be about smarter computers, but about creating better ways for humans and technology to work together. Thank you.